hey.
It's a Mido show.
Hey, hey.
It's a Mido show.
Hey, hey.
It's a Mido show.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Mido Show. This episode I got my grandpa Leo on because everybody's been asking me to talk to him, and he just turned 90 a couple days ago, or last week. So we had him, I have him on to talk about his story and, I don't know, just talk to him about random stuff. So, Grandpa, you want to kind of tell people about, like, your story and stuff? Like, you know, I mean, you lived 90 years, so I'm sure you have a lot of, like, fun, cool stuff and everything. And you don't have to talk to them. You could talk to me if you want.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have anything you want to say? Or is any stories? I mean, you're in the war.
Well, I do have quite a few because I was in the draft in the 50, and half of our outfit went to Korea and half went to Europe. So I was the one that went to Europe.
Mm. And what was that? Was the Army, right?
Right.
Yeah. And what'd you do in the Army? What was your...
My main thing was I blew up some bunkers they had full of ammunition, 5 of us, and I was the only Mexican in the group, and a white and a couple of Orientals.
Dang. So, and that was, where was that at? Was that Korea?
No, Germany.
That was in Germany?
After the war.
Oh, okay. So that was after the World War II, and you just guys went and demolished all the bunkers and blew them up and everything?
That's right.
So those were the Nazi bunkers? Is that like where Hitler was?
Hitler, and each bunker, we had to do one a day to prepare the demolition around the front of the main gate, because they had booby traps, and we had to be real careful. So we buried some big old tanks, 3 on each side of the building, and then we had to go back maybe about 80 yards, 100 yards to kind of hide almost on top of the side of the other hill.
And then blow it up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did you guys like plant dynamite and then hook up the wire and roll it out on the spool? And
that was the last day we had to do that. I mean, on the last the bunker we had to do, we had to connect the connection from where we were, and when we were counted for and went back to the mountain, then the guy hooked him up to a machine he had up there and just pumped it once, and they blew the whole thing out.
So that's how you actually used the little pump like they do in the cartoons and stuff?
Right.
When the little coyote hooks up the dynamite for the road one?
Right. That was us.
Okay, cool. So what else? I know you talk about the American Legion, and you guys opened up Dodger Stadium.
Yes.
So that was after the war, or was that before the war?
No, that was after the war.
Okay. Yeah, because Dodger Stadium, what did it open, 62?
63.
63? Yeah. So what was that? You guys were there for was it the first game that they played, or was it when they first opened, when they first completed?
We belonged to a group of American Legions, and they called us in to do with all the dignitaries in City Hall to appear there and give us a big ovation when we got there.
And was that for a baseball game there, or was it some other event?
Yeah, for the Dodger Stadium.
Okay, because I know they do like concerts there, and they did like a lot of like different events and stuff. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right. I don't know what else. What cool stories do you got, or what?
Well,
what things do you want to talk about?
Well, we did a lot of parades from San Francisco down the coast to San Diego, and then the Inland Empire, all around Los Angeles area. Everywhere they call us, we were there.
Nice. Cool. And you just did parades and stuff, and
yeah. The main one was the East LA parade, where I grew up.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, because you came from Texas, though. You grew up in LA, but you came from Texas when you were a kid, huh?
Yeah, we grew up on a ranch. My father sent us to a ranch, 4 of us. And then our brother got drafted for Japan, and he was 21, so About years later, my dad sent us, put us in a train and sent us to California. And I already had a sister and a brother living here with some in-laws. So that's where we landed.
And how old were you when you came to California?
16.
16. And you came on the train. You said that was like a three-day
Right.
trip, huh?
Yeah, 3-day trip. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I've taken the train once. It's a fun trip. It's just
We came
it's
through
long.
the Grand Canyon and all that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do when you first came out here? Did you start working right away, or because you didn't go to school, huh?
No, I didn't have a chance to go to school. I was always working, and as soon as I got to California, I met a neighbor. I told him I was going to go look for a job. He said, "I'll go with you." And he was actually a heavy guy, so he did. And they had signs all over the place where we went, help wanted and all that. So I was a guy out in front of the door outside, and he called us saying, "Hey, you guys looking for a job?" I said, "Yes, we are." He said, "Come on by. Come in inside and take a test. And if you pass that, you're hired." I said, "All right." So we went in, and I passed it. And then my buddy went next, and he also passed it. So we got the job.
So just like that.
Yeah, and they told us, "When you want to start, today or tomorrow?" I said, "Might as well today, because we don't know tomorrow we get the same job."
Tomorrow I might not have the job.
That's right. We wised up a little bit, Oh.
Yeah, but that's cool. You got to working right away and stuff, and then how'd you meet Grandma? How did that? Because didn't you know Grandma? Did you know somebody in Grandma's family before?
Yes.
Weren't you in the war with Uncle Jess or?
Yeah.
Or somebody?
Yes, I was. And the way I knew Lupe, it was because one of my sisters got married and she was 16, and she had her in her wedding.
Oh, okay.
And that's how the family got together. And I didn't pay too much attention to that because I was still young. So when I was in Europe, I sent her a letter. I asked her, she was almost 20-something. I asked her, she wait for me when I get out, maybe we could get married. She said, "I'll let you know in 2 weeks." In 2 weeks, she sent me a letter. She said, "Yeah, I'll wait for you." And here I am.
Oh, damn. Way to go, Grandma, waiting.
Well, I work pretty fast myself, too, so.
That's very old school, Grandpa. Nowadays, girls aren't like that. If you don't text them back in 5 minutes, or you don't call them back right away, they move on to the next guy.
That's right.
Yeah, girls don't wait around very long.
That's right. So I just jumped to the right time, I guess.
Just waited for the opportunity and took your shot.
Yeah, right.
That's funny because how you met Grandma at a wedding, because that's how my dad and my mom met at one of I think at Jim and Lolly's wedding, when my dad was there and he knew somebody and stuff. And so maybe I'm gonna meet somebody that I marry at a wedding. Maybe just keep going to weddings and we'll find out.
I'll tell you one thing. One time is around, it is enough. I stayed 61 years married, and she'd been gone almost 13, something like that.
Yeah, 13 years.
So she was only about 6 months older than younger than I was.
Yeah, she was 76 when she passed, or how old was she?
When she passed away.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, she
77.
was 81, I think.
No,
No.
because you just turned 90, so
Yeah.
she was 13 years. She was about, I think she was like 77, 70.
Yeah, she died in 2005 anyway.
Yeah, it was 2005 Christmas. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you got back, then did you guys like start dating for a little bit, or did you just get married right away? Because did you guys know each other for a while before? Or?
Oh yeah, we started dating and all of that. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. What stuff did you guys used to do? Like, what was your first date? Did you used to go on like picnics or go to the?
Well, they had a park right in East LA, Beverly Park, and we used to go down there and just kill time, move around, and see other people, and copycatters.
Did you guys like to go dancing, go music? And I know you like music and stuff. Did you guys like to go, go out and stuff?
Yeah, always like that. We used to go to $1 Million, watch those big sessions, and rhythm and blues, you name it, we were there.
Yeah, and then when did Auntie Margie? How old were you guys when you guys had Auntie Margie?
We were pretty young because she was a number one,
Yeah.
and then my son Gilbert, they were about 3 years apart, something like that. And then Leonard came by, my other son.
But that was a big gap between my Nino Gil and Uncle Lenny, huh?
Sort of, yeah.
Cause well, not really that big of a gap. It was a bigger gap between like my mom. When my mom came later.
Yeah, and then Susie came along.
Yeah. But by the time you guys had my mom, Auntie Margie was already like 20, wasn't she? Or 19 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Grandma wasn't Grandma already almost 40 by the time she had?
No, she was. Oh man, it's a long story.
I know, huh? It's too hard to remember dates and stuff like that. But yeah, because my mom, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
My mom was born in about 70, 73, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, me and her were almost just a few months apart, so.
Well, so what else? Is there anything? I mean, you want to talk about what stuff? Tell me about stuff back in the day. I mean, music you used to listen to.
Oh
and,
yeah,
things,
yeah.
What was it like growing up?
Oh man, it was like exciting. Yeah, Fat Domino and Aretha Franklin, you name them, I was there.
All those. That was like all the jazz music and all that. Yeah.
And then of course my Mexican music, I always loved that.
Yeah.
Rancheras or norteñas or mariachis and all that.
Yeah. All that banda music and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my parents came from Michoacan, Mexico, and we were 16 in the family. Damn. My mother was the only one on her side, no brother, no sister, but my dad had about 5 and 5. And we just got together, and here I am.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans that came from like Mexico and stuff to Texas that migrated, and that's kind of what you guys did, huh? Like your family and everything.
Yeah.
They all came from Mexico and then to Texas, and then
Right.
and then so did all of your family end up moving out to California, or were some of them still in Texas?
No, I think most of them moved on this way because our parents were over here already. When everybody was across anyway. So we were 16 in the family. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah. And what did your parents do? What did great grandma and grandpa do?
Well, my dad used to work in the railroad.
Oh, okay.
Carrying,
I heard
carrying tires for the railroad and telephone poles and all that. And they had a factory where they put them in crystal, so the termites.
Oh. And what did grandma do? Or did she even work? She took care of the kids?
She was mainly a housewife.
Yeah, taking care of the kids.
She
I mean,
had
16
she had
kids.
enough work, and I think more than we did.
And then growing up for school, you went to school for a little bit when you were a kid, but then you only went up until what, third grade or something like that?
No, I just almost went just through and out the other door. I didn't last too long in there because we had to do some chores around the house. By the time my dad used to come from work, he wanted some yard work or whatever, and we were still kids,
Yeah.
So play hide and seek.
Try to hide from him so he won't find you, so you don't have to do the chores.
Yeah.
I play hide and seek all the time with my dad.
But they used to clap the hands, and you better snap onto it.
Yeah. So because wasn't it tough for you to go to school? Because it took you like 2 hours to get to school, and then you'd go to school for 2 hours, and then you have to walk 2 hours back home, and then work when you got home.
Yeah, right.
And then it's too hard to do all that and stuff.
Yeah.
But you always educated yourself and stuff because you read the paper and you watch the news, you talk to people.
Yes, I do all that all by I started doing that, and of course answer the phone, English, Spanish, or whatever. I'm there.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is you had the two languages, the bilingual. You know.
But I do know a lot. A lot of people ask me, "Where did you learn this?" I said, "Well, you have to try hard to get there where you want to be."
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, even to this day, I mean, you're 90 years old, and every day you read the paper, you watch the news,
Right.
you get your entertainment in, you listen to some music, you watch a little bit of TV,
That's right. I move around.
yeah, go outside for a little bit, come out, drink a beer, you got your
That's right.
got your little routine and stuff.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? I don't know. I feel like there's just so much to cover. There's so many different levels. You're very complex, man. One thing I will say is that I get a lot of my creativity and my my curiosity from you. That's one of the reasons why you continue to learn is you have questions or you think about things. You're always looking at something and trying to figure out how you can use different parts to make stuff. You're very innovative.
Well, I did some inventions myself.
Yeah.
And I sent one to Florida, and I waited for an answer, and they told me I had made it. And I told them to send me a letter so I can, get a certificate or something. And then I found out it was a scam. So I guess a lot of people got scammed with them, but I did invention fishing poles that could catch the fish. All you had to do is just go and get that rod and pull them out.
Yeah. The Lucky 7 fish catcher. That was a pretty good little invention too, because it's very simple. Like, it doesn't take away from any of the fishing really, because you still get to reel the fish in and all that stuff. What it really does is just kind of hooks the fish.
Well, what I did,
when they have the little nibble, and just hook them.
I work in a spring company, so I used to get any kind of spring that I needed for it. And that thing automatic jumps and catches them.
Yeah, for you guys, it's like this thing where you put the fishing rod in it, and then you cast it out, put the fishing rod in it,
Right.
and then you put it horizontal, and you put a little spring with a little latch on it.
Right.
And when the fish, bites the bait and it pulls the rod down, that little tension releases the spring, and the thing snaps up, and right away the pole just hooks the fish.
Right.
And then the line's still in the water. It doesn't catch the fish for it. You still got to reel it in and do all that stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
the main part, because a lot of people, they get nibbles and they go to reel right away, and they don't have the fish hooked. The fish just spits out the bait.
Right.
So
Yeah.
hooking a fish is really important.
Yeah, sometimes they spit the hook out.
Yeah, they eat the bait, and you'll get that too, where you start fighting a fish, and then you reel it in, and the bait's gone, and you just have the hook, and they just ate the bait off of there. So you gotta, you gotta be able to hook them and stuff, and that's pretty much what it did, right away. I think that was a great invention, and
Well, we went deep sea fishing, and I caught a 39 pound sea bass.
sea bass.
Yeah, we used to go deep sea, Oceanside, San Diego, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's one thing I haven't done before. I know we used to go off the pier and do fishing there, but we always, growing up, you always used to take us to the lakes and stuff. We always kind of did freshwater fishing, but yeah, one of these days I do want to go out to either somewhere in Mexico or San Diego, like you said, and do one of those charter boats. And
yeah, we used to go out of Long Beach a lot. 22nd
yeah, Long
Landing.
Beach. I know Dana Point has some charter boats out there and stuff too. Everywhere. Shoot, Ventura.
Beach, Seal Beach and all that.
Yeah, really anywhere you can charter a boat.
Right.
But yeah, it's all about finding somebody who knows the right spot to go to and has all the equipment, everything you need, but yeah, I just want to go out there in the deep sea and hook
We
a
even
fish.
had to go on the back of the Catalina Island.
Yeah.
And sometimes the weather used to chase us out, and we had to get out of there in a hurry.
Yeah, it's one place I want to check out is Catalina Island. One for the fishing and stuff, but just the tourism and things like that. But yeah, you how long have you been fishing? When did you first start fishing?
When I was a kid in Texas,
Really?
they had all kinds of rivers or whatever, Brussels River near Houston, Texas, the Gulf of Mexico anyway. So, but we used to have big rivers on there, the Brussels River, all kinds of rivers.
Yeah.
We had a place where they had 7 bridges in a row. They call it the 7 bridges.
And you could stand on the bridge and fish off the bridge.
Right. Uh-huh.
Some old school stuff right there.
Yeah. And almost all of them passed through the same river through there, but it was 7 in a row.
Yeah, at different points of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good thing, too, because a lot of the fish go with the current, and flow one way, or,
Right.
or fish like salmon, go against the current when they're swimming up to spawn and stuff.
Yeah, we used to catch a lot of catfish, big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing you always used to catch was the catfish.
Yeah.
That was the main one for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what bait? What do you use to catch catfish? Is that just a worm, or because you don't use power bait or anything? I think, right?
We used to use chicken liver, worms.
Chicken liver.
Something small, yeah.
Oh, that's some good bait right there. Chicken
Yeah.
liver. Oh, that's a good one. I'll have to remember
And
that.
they had all kinds of worms, really, but that big one was the main one,
Yeah.
a red worm. They call it bloodworm, so
Yeah, worm.
that's what the fish want. They want some money, blood.
Yeah. So a lot of catfishing and stuff, and then when you came out here, so when you were in Texas, you never did any ocean fishing out there as a kid or anything. It was all just rivers and lakes and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And then when was the first time that you went deep sea fishing? Like, was it off a pier, or did you actually go out into the ocean?
Mainly off the pier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember too when we first moved to Ventura, and we used to go down there and fish off the pier, and we take the crab net and throw the crab net down there and let it sit for
Right.
about an hour, let the little crabs
Right.
come and pull it up and snag some crabs.
Yeah, we had a big fish. Somebody give us a hand.
Yeah, that's another. I remember one time this guy roped in a shark. He got like a leopard shark, and we unhooked it and tossed the shark back and stuff. But it was pretty trippy. But yeah, everybody. It's funny because down there at the pier, everybody kind of flocks around. When one person hooks a fish, everybody kind of comes around like, hey,
Right.
somebody's
They
got
wanna
one.
see what they got.
Yeah, everybody wants to, and that's what it is about fishing too. I mean, even when you're at the lake, and you see somebody, hey, you got a fish, like, yeah, how many did you catch today? It's
Right.
it's pretty cool and stuff. Yeah, and a lot of people do it, for the sport. They catch and release. They always. I know you always cleaned your fish, and you guys always used to eat fish. See, that's one thing about me. I don't eat fish. I do like shellfish and other types of seafood and stuff, but I'm not really like a fish eater. So, but it's cool, that like I enjoy fishing, and it's a good skill to have, because I mean, like survival wise and stuff. When you're out somewhere, you can always catch a fish and cook a fish and eat. It's a good source of protein, and they're very easy. I mean, once you understand them and stuff, they're very easy to cook, clean, catch. I mean, it's a lot easier than fishing is a lot easier than hunting. It's
Yeah.
a lot simpler.
Yeah, I had my brother. He had a friend. He gave him one of those big old fish, man. He had it in a van, and he didn't know what to do. So I knew this guy, and he had a place where he cooked them and everything. And I told him about it, so we took it down there. He made all kinds of fish steaks and everything. When he got done with him, he said, okay, get your friends down here. It's meat for everybody. A big tuna, that's what it was.
Big tuna.
About 600 pounder. Right?
Damn.
Yeah, and that was something.
Yeah. I remember, it's funny you bring up that story, and I think about when you were living in Bullhead City, how you used to work, or you used to go to the market, and the guys would give you the fit, or like all the shrimp and all the good stuff wrapped up, and give you the price of like the liver and stuff. You'd get it for like super cheap,
Right.
like $1 a pound and stuff.
Right. That's connections.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always good about and especially, I mean, being bilingual for the most part. A lot of the people that work at the Mexican, the meat markets and stuff like that, they're Chicano, Mexicanos and stuff, and so yeah, it's funny because when I was working on the road with my uncle TJ, when we'd go to Walmarts and stuff, he'd like, they put out the meat and stuff out there, and he'd go talk to the butcher in the back and be like, hey,
Yeah, right.
yeah, compa, blah blah blah, let me get the the good cut and stuff, and the guys would always give us like the best ones, hook us up with the best deals and stuff, and yeah, it's just It's a little gift to gab that we got.
Yeah, sometimes they used to go to a parking lot, and I gave them the money out there so nobody could see. Undercover.
Like you're buying drugs. hey, you got the stuff. I got the money right here.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, we
yeah.
had a great time in my lifetime anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm still here, and thank God I still have my memory.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Think about it, like people that lived during like the I mean, well, you were probably like a kid during that point, but like Prohibition and stuff, because that was what, like 29 through like 30, early 30s or something.
Well, we went through some of that. We used to get my dad used to get supplies at they had a place where to pick up the supplies, and every 15 days they go and pick up a load, big bags of food and all that.
Yeah, and then didn't they? I mean, in like certain places, do they have like dry counties and stuff? You know, because even like
No liquor.
yeah, because I remember when I went down to like Mississippi and stuff, and places in the South, they'll have like a whole area where it's they don't. Well, I mean, like, yeah, they don't sell liquor. You're not really supposed, like, nobody really drinks and stuff because it's a dry county. And it's funny, actually, in Tennessee, there's a place where I forget where it is in Tennessee, but where the Jack Daniel's distillery is. It's in a town that's a dry county, but they have a distillery where they make whiskey.
Yeah.
So they're able to make whiskey there. They just can't sell it or drink it there.
They make a beer too. They make everything
Yeah.
homemade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was life, and hey, we lived through it anyway.
Yeah. Did you ever know anybody who like who made beer or whiskey or moonshine or anything like that? You know, because you were always into the beers and stuff like that. Or did you always stick with Anheuser-Busch?
Well, I do, but my father-in-law used to make it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, had a cellar in the back of the house.
Yeah.
And then one time my mother-in-law got mad at him, and she called the FBI, and they came and made him to tear it up.
Oh, man, snitching.
But everybody
on
come in with a bottle to take some home.
Yeah, of
Get
course.
loaded right there and take some home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your supply right there. See, that's the thing too. It's a little bit of a lost art. People brewing their own beers and moonshine and stuff like that, and making whiskeys and stuff. I think beer is kind of making a comeback with that. There's a lot of breweries and microbreweries and stuff coming up, but yeah, that's kind of like they used to be like growing your own weed. People used to make their own beer and then give it to all their friends.
That's right.
I got the best beer. I got the best stuff around. Yeah.
We used to be in the time of the suit suiters.
The what?
Suit suiters
Suit suitor?
with a head and a feather and charskin, gabardine, and tight fit pants, and then the bottom. Man, that was something. Pachuco Style.
But I don't know what that is. It's a funny description though. Yeah. I don't know, what else you want to talk about, Grandpa? What else?
Well, I think that makes most of my thing that I have, because it's too many things to come up and remember, really, because I'm getting to age already. So,
Yeah.
but I'm still kicking.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of the basic preliminary stuff for people who don't know you and stuff, or people who kind of know you a little bit more and stuff. We just want to get stuff on record and stuff, because you're 90 years old, and we love that you're here, but we don't know how much longer you're gonna be here, and how much we want to try to absorb all the information and all the knowledge and all the stuff you got, stories you have to share, and it's history, man. It's our history, it's family history. It's
When I was trying to probably have it on TV, I'm sure a lot of people will recognize me.
yeah, that's another thing too.
Yeah.
You never know. People will be like, "Hey, he was that guy that was there."
Yeah, right.
That's another funny thing too. Is I always like talking to people who were there, or who knew people that were there, because one of the most important things I think in life is like a shared experience.
And say the truth, that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say that I was like there, I got to experience it and stuff, you know. Because, you know, I mean, many people may get to watch this and be like, oh, you know, I know who Leo is, but how many people actually got to experience, you know, a personal interaction? And I think that's important, you know, to go out into the world and to meet people and talk to people and, you know, I think you've done that a lot in your life. You know, you've always been a people person, life of the party, social, you know, always having a good time and stuff like that. So.
But my name is Leonardo, and they call me Leon, like a lion.
Leon.
But in the military, they always call me Tiger. Hey, Tiger, come over here. Even the officials and the sergeants, everybody call me, hey, Tiger, we need you over here.
Call you Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you could almost say that.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger's a tiger. Huh?
La Tigre.
Yeah.
But Leon, yeah. Leonardo.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Not really. I think that covers a lot of what I had to say, and I'm still here. So if somebody needs me or needs a hand, I'm there for them.
Yeah. If anybody wants to talk to my Grandpa Leo, he's always sitting here kicking it. Or if you just want to come by and have a beer, I mean, it's pretty much what we do. Just hang out, have beers, talk.
Yeah. Shoot the jive.
Shoot the jab. Shoot the shit.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Shoot the jab. See, the lingo's changed a little bit, you know. Back in the day, shoot the jab.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit now.
Yeah, everybody knew what we were talking about anyway. But that was great anyway. I did everything that I possibly could, you know. I smoke weed. I don't hide from that. But I had a limit.
Yeah.
And then my mom would always say, hey, you look like you're drunk. I wasn't drunk. I was weeded.
The Cheech and Chong. Pinche marihuano.
Yeah. Fucking stick on every ear. On top of the ear.
And do you smoke tobacco? Did you ever smoke tobacco?
Oh, yeah. Bull Durn and...
Everybody smoked tobacco.
Oh, yeah. Prince Albert. Yeah.
That's the stuff.
That was a hiding place for the...
Did you ever do like the chewing tobacco, or did you know like that snuff?
I didn't like it too much because that's the thing. You have to be spitting everywhere.
Yeah. That was a real common thing, like in England back in the day. They would the snuff, like people would, and they would do it indoors too. Like high officials would have a little thing of snuff and put it in there and be spitting into like these little.
They'd be sitting and spitting in the pot.
Yeah, they had the little spittoon, the little.
Yeah.
You know.
Instead of walking down there or bringing the pot over, they spit from here to there.
Yeah. Yeah, there used to be, they'd have it sitting on the floor over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then start walking, they'd be sliding on the mud.
Yeah. Because places, it would be like I think it still is today too, where you can't like spit. It's illegal to spit on the ground and stuff, so they'd have these spittoons and stuff so people could spit in it. That's a shitty job for the guy who has to.
It is because people
clean up
say
those.
It's a lot of germs around.
Yeah, and then somebody has to clean that out and like empty it. You know, it's like emptying a trash can.
Sometimes you have to go on your knees to clean the floor.
It's like a guy who cleans the urinal in the bathroom. Talk about a shitty job, right? All right, we'll wrap it up with that. This was a good little interview, good little podcast for me. I know it's fun to, talk to you and stuff. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's just kind of hard, we don't get a lot of quiet time in the house, always got the dogs barking, the cat running around, grandpa and my dad, and a lot of stuff going on, but,
Well, I'm glad we got it done, so.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
So, yeah. And we'll do on, later on down the road sometime, and we'll talk about some other stories and some other stuff, and, or just drink some beer and have some fun.
Maybe they dig me out and bring me back.
Reincarnated. All right. Grandpa Leo ain't going nowhere. So, all right. Well, that was a good podcast. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. If you did, and even if you didn't, who cares? I mean, this was fun for us. And we'll have to do this again.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's get back to this TV show though. This is pretty interesting right here. All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye. That was cool, man. That was cool.
Did it sound good in your head? In the headphones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sounded like
Thank you, Mido, man.
like a radio show, huh?
Man, you're the guy.
Hey, hey, it's the Mido Show!